What are we going to look at today? Well, guys, we are going to look at 4 front flippers. You guys know I'm not a fan of them, but a lot of you guys are, so we're going to take a good look at them. You guys know what time it is. Turn down the volume. Here comes a little bit of music. I'm not gonna lie, a couple of these knives are mine that I own, and I do like them, but they are thumb stud openers as well. I'm not typically a fan of the top flipper, front flipper configuration. There are a couple exceptions. I really do like this Civivi Appalachian Drifter 2, which is one of the knives we're gonna look at. So not gonna make this take a little bit longer. We got 4 knives we're gonna look at. I'm gonna give them each a couple minutes. We'll go through them. We'll talk about the knives. We'll talk about the things I do like about them and stuff like that. Just quick little short reviews, because that seems to be the format that most people are enjoying these days. So yeah, let's turn this around and take a look at it from above. So since we've got a lot of new members of the channel, I thought I'd just real quick, what is a top flipper? So opposite of my preferred configuration, this is a back flipper. A front flipper, not top flipper, a front flipper is just that. The flipper is in the front instead of being on the back. So you can, you know, it's still a real viable deployment method, but it's not my favorite. So let's get these out of the way and we'll look at them one at a time. Start with this one. This one is the Civivi Appalachian Drifter 2. It's done in 2 different forms of carbon fiber and mosaic Damascus. Now, the reason I'm starting with it is I personally, of all of these, think that this is the best front flipper of the bunch. This one I have 0 problems with the deployment. I don't have any issues with it. It feels comfortable in hand. That completely disappears. It's nice and clean and smooth. It does not have a thumb stud like some of the others. Now, the reason that I'm doing this one first is because I'm actually kind of impressed with the front flipper action on this and how good it is, even for me, someone who historically just does not like front flippers at all. So this thing is in a really cool configuration. It's really awesome. I did a video about this knife that went up, fit for a tuxedo pocket is what was on the thumbnail. This is an incredibly nice knife. The blade on it is amazing. It is super thin, hollow ground, relatively thin blade stock, but then even more so, the thinness of it is accentuated by having that deep hollow. Slice is really nice. The Damascus on it is beautiful, as is the carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, when it's done right, is incredibly attractive. You can see now that I've got the right lighting in the shop, you can really see the different tones and things on it. This is a liner, which is one of the reasons that this works really well for me. I have a problem with front flippers that are frame locks. Because of the size of my hands, I wind up putting pressure on the lock bar, and I have a hard time deploying it. This thing, I would say honestly, this would be one that if it was just front flipper only, I can get behind. I can understand this. It's pretty comfortable, easy to carry. Like I said, cuts really well, attractive lines. It does not have an ugly lanyard hole in it. It's got a lanyard spot for it that's in the backspacer, and it's just done incredibly well. So there you go. That's the first one. That is the Civivi Appalachian Drifter 2 in carbon fiber and Damascus. The next one we're going to look at is the CJRB Myelia. Now, the Myelia and the Myelia both are top flippers. Or I'm sorry, front flippers. I keep calling top flippers or front flippers. The action on this is really good. I'm not as big a fan of the front flipper action on this as I am the other one. This is a really comfortable knife, really nice in hand. The fact though that, like, I understand the whole thought behind a back flip or a front flipper. The back flipper, you know, you wind up with, you lose a little bit on it when you've got the knife closed and stuff like that. It's a very clean look. You don't have the flipper tab sticking out, you know, as Nick Shabazz likes to call them, pocket peckers. Now, the reason I put this one in, this one has got a really good action. It's nice and smooth, but it also has really good thumb studs. So for somebody like me that might not like a front flipper as much, I can easily use the thumb studs. The thumb studs on these are great. They're just about the perfect height. The blade is just good enough that even with those really tall thumb studs, you're not having a problem with sharpening. They're not going to get in your way.
This is just a really good all-around duty knife for the way it's built. The action on it is great. CJRB has done a really good job. They did it in the ARRPM 9, which I'm a big fan of. It is a China-made knife. I do know that brings up some controversy these days, but I can't restrict my content to only show American-made knives. I would never have content. The knife itself, super comfortable, super useful. I liked the original. If you heard my review of this, I liked the original, but I had some problems with it coming out of my pocket because I'm a big guy. And when I would sit down, I would push it up out of my pocket. That front flipper, one of the cool things about it, that front flipper continues that jimping back. So not only is there jimping on the full spine, it's on the flipper tab as well, which you need for some purchase. But what that leaves you with is a lot of jimping. It's generous. You've got a whole area there for your thumb. So great, great knife, really, really useful. And it's attractive. It's got a unique look. So there you go. There is your second knife, the CJRB more Myelia, and the original Myelia as well. They both fall into that same review category of how I like them. This third one here is the KU344 by Kubey. This was designed by my friend Sharif Manganis. It is another front flipper. Action on this is really smooth. You're going to notice that like I said, these liner lock front flippers do not bother me anywhere near as much as the frame locks, because I don't have as much of an issue. Nice thing about this one is you can slow roll this. A lot of these other ones, the action on it is great. This one has got just the right detent where if you want to slow roll that out with that flipper, you can. Also has thumb studs, so the action on it is great. This thing is, I was really concerned about not liking this knife when Sharif sent it to me. He sent this to me as a gift. The action on it is super smooth, but I was afraid, like looking at it, I was afraid of the ergos. Guys, this thing is great in hand. The action on it, drop shut smooth for a budget knife. The lines are nice and cool. Sharif has a thing that he does, what I really like. He gets some symmetry, so you can see the line of your grind, and then the line of the scales comes down and it looks like a V. It looks like wings, and I do like that. And then closed, it's got a really, really unique profile. Blade stock on this one is nice and thin, and it's ground nice and thin behind the edge. It is in D2, so it is going to be a little bit more prone to some corrosion. But I mean, that pocket clip is typically something that would be out of my wheelhouse, and I like it. And like I said, the way that this thing feels in hand is great. Even that big, what I would consider almost too big of a pocket clip, it just kind of disappears in your hand. You've got a nice generous area here, like a thumb ramp area that gives you some really good control on the knife. And like I said, the action on it is immaculate. And the fact that you can either flip it with the flipper tab, or you can slow roll it, or you can use the thumb stud, it just makes it more fun to have. Like, I do know that you don't have to have multiple methods of opening on a knife. You're like, I don't have to have a thumb stud and an aperture and a flipper tab. But knives that have that just make them more fun to have, because you can kind of pick and choose. You know, I don't fidget with my knives, but I definitely do like having the variation in being able to do it the way I want. And the G10 on this is really good. It's nice and grippy. It's not overly aggressive, but it's also not slick. So there you go. The Kubey KU344, number 3 on this front flipper fiesta we're going to have here, I guess. So I have to say, as much as I like all the knives we've seen before, I did save my favorite for last. And this is the Sirius, designed by Ray Laconico and done by Artisan Cutlery. Now this knife I love this knife. It's great. It spends a lot of time in my pocket. I don't talk about it as much as I should, but it does get a lot of pocket time, because it is, not only is it aesthetically pleasing and attractive, the action on it is really, really good. It's easy to carry. I can front flip it if I choose. I have the thumb stud option, but on top of everything else, this knife is ridiculously comfortable in hand. It looks so simple and plain, but when you get it in hand, you're like, that is just awesome. Super clean lines. You don't have anything interfering with the lines of the knife, which, like, I'm not a fan of front flippers, but that is one of the benefits. You do wind up with clean lines, nothing interrupting it like you would with something like this. Well, this is an awesome knife. I definitely think that this knife brought front flippers to a point for me where I'm like, yeah, okay, I can get it. Because like I said, once you have it open, you have such a clean line and it is so comfortable in hand, and everything else that goes with it. Raised designs are always attractive. You know, the action on it is great, but like I said, in hand, it just melts away. The pocket clip on it is just about perfect in my opinion. Lanyard hole, no lanyard hole, like a little lanyard stub inside the backspacer. Attractive milling. The micarta on it is amazing. I actually just cleaned this up the other day, so it's starting to re-patina with hand oils. I forget what I was doing that I cleaned it up. But, you know, this thing is really, really awesome. I have had zero issues with this knife. It's sharpened up really good. This one is in S35VN. They do have multiple versions. I'm actually giving away a G10 and ARPM 9 version of this month to my paying members. So this is a great knife that I really love. And this originally came into me from Artisan for me to review on the channel and do as a giveaway. And I liked it so much, I kept it. So yeah, this thing is amazing. This is my, like I said, out of all of these, it is my favorite. I wouldn't say that it's any better than the others. It's just for various reasons. It is my favorite. So there you go, guys. The Artisan Cutlery Laconico Design Sirius. Let's turn this around and do some final thoughts.
There you go, guys. There was 4 front flippers. Like I said down below, I believe that the Sirius, the Ray Laconico Sirius by Artisan Cutlery is my favorite. And I just wanted to note, so guys, in some of these videos, if you're noticing there's a little bit more background noise, it is spring break, so that means my wife who works for the school district and my daughter are both home from school all day. So I apologize for any background noise. Yeah, guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as, like I always say, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. And if you do hit the bell icon, you got to make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, or you're not going to know that I posted stuff. Because, well, you're probably not going to know anyway, because I don't think YouTube sends out notifications all the time. If you want to support the channel in financial ways, I have a few ways down below. I have a membership where I've set up a bunch of benefits based on tier. You can look at it, see what tier fits you best. Everyone gets access to my Gilded server. Everyone saves $5 off on their knives. The premium tier guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series. It's a lot of fun. The members get specific benefits. Other ways you can do it, I have affiliate links down below, where anything you purchase through those affiliate links, I get a little bit of it at checkout, and you don't have to pay anything extra. And the final way you can support the channel financially is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co., where I've set up a coupon code that works anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. It saves you 10% at checkout. The material that they use on their shirts is incredible. They're great shirts. The printing's great. So that coupon code is CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp. Saves you 10% at checkout. And like I did with Walt G the other day, if you send me pictures of you wearing my merchandise, I will put them in the video. Guys, keep it clean in the comment section. It makes it easier to moderate the videos. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.